Hey everyone, how's it going? So last time we set up the Ajax call so that when you press the button it will go to the correct route and try and delete the post. But of course we haven't handled the route yet, so we just get a 404. So let's go and handle the route then. So we're going to go to our post, what is it? Post.js, the route/API file, okay? And we're going to go and add a route here. So I'll collapse these just so it's a bit more condensed, so it's easier for you to see. So I've collapsed them all, and let's add it underneath here. So I'm going to say router dot delete, because remember it's a delete request. Okay, so we need to handle it on the delete request here. And it's just going to be /ID like that. Oops, I need it in quotes, so /ID. And of course, our handler is going to contain three parameters: the rec, res, and then next one, just like we did above. And I'll make an arrow function right here. So this code right here will be called when we access this route. So deleting a post is really, really simple. We barely have to do anything here. All we're going to do is say post dot find by ID and delete. It's a function right here. You pass in an ID. It will go and find that item which has that ID and then delete it. So all we need to do is pass in the params.id. So make sure that's an S on there, not param, it's params. And that's it. That will delete the post for us. So what we're going to do after that, we'll say dot then, and then in here, we're not actually going to pass anything back, so we can just say res dot send status like this, and then I think a 202 is deleted status, so we can just send a 202 back, and then we can just catch an error. So catch, and then it will be error, the arrow function right here, and then what we can do on error, we'll just log it. So console.log, and then error, and then finally we'll just send it 400. So res.send send status. Man, I'm terrible at typing today. Send status, and then 400. Okay, that's it. We're done. So find by ID and update does give you back the document that was deleted. So if you really wanted to, you could have the result here and check if it's not null first. So you could say if a result is not null, then do something else. If result is null, it means it didn't find anything with that ID. So you can send a message to the user or something, but it doesn't matter for us. We're just going to assume it worked, so we're not going to do anything. And that's it. Let's give it a try. So the reason we send back these status codes right here is because the client can then use these codes and decide what to do with it. So in the Ajax success handler, we could, instead of just doing a location.reload, we could check this status in here and then do something if the status is right. So I'll show you how to do that. But first, real quick, let me just test this works. So if I refresh the page and then press this and that, we should hopefully see it delete. Oh, I haven't actually restarted the server, so we won't see anything yet. So let me just restart the server and refresh the page, log in again. So let me go, and that's no longer my post. I'm logged in as a different user now, I just realized. Let me go and delete a post of mine, say this one right here. So I'll press delete, and the page refreshed. Did it delete? Let me go see if I see it. I probably should have done it a bit better. I think it did delete, but what I'll do is submit a new post right at the top here. Hello. So it's easier for us to see whether it worked or not. So I'll try and delete this post now. So if I click delete, you should see it disappear, and you do, it's no longer there. So we know the delete works. Okay, so I'll show you what I was talking about making use of the status that was returned. You don't have to do this. At this point, the delete functionality is done. You can move on to the next video right now if you don't really care about this. Feel free to skip this part. But anyway, all I'm going to do is show you how you can make use of that status that was given back to us. So, for example, we can say data, and then status, and then XHR. And now, these are kind of three conventional parameters right here. Data, of course, is the data that was returned. So if we returned the post, it would be like this. Now, status is misleading. This will actually contain a success message when the Ajax call is successful. It won't contain the status code. It will contain a status message. And then if we want to check the status code, we're going to do so in this XHR one. Now, I think I mentioned this briefly before, but XHR just stands for XML HTTP request. But if you really wanted to check it, you could just say if xhr.status is not equal to 202, because remember we are returning a 202 when we delete successfully here. So if it's not equal to 202, we could just say alert could not delete post. Obviously you do something a bit better for the user here, maybe a nicer alert or something like that, and then we can just return as well so that we don't reload the page. Now you won't see this because our delete works, but let me just go and show you that again. If I add a post here, hi, and I'm going to go ahead and delete it. So I'll set a breakpoint in here. Oops, I've lost it. Where did that go? Somewhere. Let me find it. My scroll is too sensitive. Okay, here. So I'll delete this, and it's gone here. And you can see status is 202 because it worked. Now the status message right here is success. That's why we can't check that status is 202. But you get the idea. If status was not 202, we could do something else here and handle that. But there you go. That's just a real quick example of how you can look at the status that comes back from the Ajax call and do something with it. But everything we've got works, and we can now delete posts.